Have you ever looked around and noticed how everyone seems to be moving in the same direction, almost as if they're all following some invisible current? It's like there's this unspoken rule that says, don't stand out, just blend in. Maybe you've felt it at work, where everyone agrees with the boss, even if they have different ideas. Or at school, where it's easier to just go along with the crowd than to speak up. Sometimes it's even in your own neighborhood, where everyone seems to do things the same old way year after year. But what if just once you decided to do something different? Today, I want to share a story about a little fish who dared to ask, what if I don't follow the crowd? This isn't just any fish, it's a fish with a spark of courage, a fish who wondered what might happen if it swam against the current. Imagine a river teeming with life, fish of all shapes and sizes all moving together in perfect harmony, like a living, breathing ribbon of silver. The current is strong, but together the fish make it look effortless. It's what they've always done, and it feels safe. There's comfort in numbers, in doing what everyone else is doing. It's easy, it's predictable, and it feels like the right thing to do. After all, why risk standing out when you can just blend in and avoid trouble? But for one tiny fish, that wasn't enough. This little fish looked around at the endless parade of fins and tails and thought, is this all there is? What if I tried something different? So with a flick of its tail it turned and faced the current head on. The other fish noticed right away. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some laughed, others shook their heads. Why make it harder for yourself? They called out. You'll never get anywhere going that way. The little fish heard all their doubts and warnings. You're too small, they said. The current is too strong. You'll get tired, or worse, you'll get lost. But the little fish just smiled, took a deep breath, and started swimming upstream. At first, every stroke was a struggle. The water pushed back, making every inch feel like a mile. The current was relentless, and the little fish's muscles ached. It would have been so much easier to turn around and rejoin the others, to let the river carry it along. But the little fish kept going. Sometimes the current was so strong it felt like it might be swept away. There were moments of doubt, moments when it wondered if the others were right. Was it foolish to try something so difficult, to go against what everyone else was doing? And yes, there were times when it felt completely alone. The river seemed vast and empty, and the voices of the other fish faded into the distance. But in that quiet, the little fish discovered something important. It was free to choose its own path. So, it pressed on, one fin at a time, determined to see what lay ahead. Each stroke made it a little stronger, a little braver. The journey was tough, but the little fish was tougher. And then, something amazing happened. As it swam further upstream, the world began to change. The water grew clearer, the rocks below sparkled in the sunlight, and the riverbanks were lined with hidden treasures that none of the other fish had ever seen. There were secret hideouts behind waterfalls, shafts of sunlight that danced on the riverbed, and quiet pools where the water was calm and inviting. The little fish realized it was seeing a side of the river that was invisible to those who never dared to leave the crowd. It even discovered a family of turtles basking on sun-warmed stones, their shells glistening in the afternoon light. They welcomed the little fish, sharing stories of their own adventures and the wonders they'd seen. Eventually, the little fish found a peaceful pool, filled with delicious food and friendly faces, creatures who had also chosen their own paths. It was a place of belonging, but also of discovery and growth. This was a place none of the other fish would ever reach, simply because they never questioned the current. They missed out on all the beauty and adventure that waited just beyond the familiar. So, what's the lesson in this little fish's journey? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to swim against the stream. People might not understand your choices. It might feel lonely, and it will almost certainly be hard. But if you have the courage to follow your own path, you might discover places and possibilities that others can't even imagine. You might find your own hidden treasures, your own peaceful pools, and friends who truly understand you. So the next time you feel like everyone's moving in one direction and you're tempted to just go along, remember the little fish. Remember that sometimes the most rewarding journeys are the ones that require a little extra courage. Maybe your adventure, your discovery, your moment of growth is waiting for you, just upstream, beyond the familiar, where few have dared to go. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Remember, you have the power to choose your own direction, so go ahead, swim your own way, and see where your courage takes you.